Hello, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here. We had an absolutely amazing time yesterday, and we had women from all over the world, and I mean all over, Nova Scotia, Illinois, Lancashire, Southampton, London, New Zealand. And what struck me wasn't where they came from, was how similar their hearts were. These were women, Christian women, who've spent years caring for others, for parents, for families, for students, for patients. And now they're saying things like, I've lost my way. I've been a nurse all this time, I've lost my way. I've cared for people, I've cared for my family, my children, my parents. And now I'm disabled and I just feel useless. I'm always busy, but not fulfilled. I just want to reconnect with God and feel creative again. And my heart just broke, because I've been there too. I've had all those feelings, and I know that you're not alone. So this is a heartfelt live stream, completely off the cuff. But we live in a culture that is just rewards busyness. Do, tick list. I mean, I do it myself, actually. I got a tick list here. Just about productivity and achieving and getting things done. And especially as women, we have to pour out until we're empty, and we think, when are we actually pouring into ourselves? So when we hit this season where the kids are grown up, my kids have all grown up, and I'm wanting to kind of fly the nest myself. They've flown the nest. I want to go out and travel. Me and my husband talk about all these kind of adventures that we can have. And then our health shifts. Something happens in our health, or then a loved one, their health shifts, and we have to kind of pour into them. Because they're aging parents, or because you've got someone who's got mental health issues and you're constantly, like me, I'm having to constantly support them, or maybe you've lost someone and you're having to go through the grief and the trauma of all that, and suddenly the question pops up. It's like, who am I now? Who am I? And science actually backs this all up. When we stop creating, the part of the brain, which is the right hemisphere, this side here, is linked to joy, linked to purpose and spiritual reflection. But also this prefrontal cortex, just goes quiet. The planning, the kind of forward thinking, the what ifs, or the possibilities, that just goes quiet. But when we re-engage our creative expression through painting, through journaling, through doodling, through watercolors, trying something that we've never tried before. I've booked myself on an oil painting class for 3 weeks. A friend at church said he was going on it, and I said, oh, I've never done oil painting. It's an adventure. It's like, I want to do this because I've never done it. Yes, I haven't got oil paints. I didn't. I've got these palette knives. I haven't got a clue what to do with them, and I've got this like huge canvas that I didn't really like, and I tore up pieces of old paper from a book. Sorry for all those book lovers who love books, and I'm tearing out pages out from a book. But anyway, this book was falling apart, and I didn't want it to go in the bin, so I recycled it, and I've put these torn out pieces of paper all over this canvas. And I'm thinking, do you think I could take it to this art class and see if I can use oil painting on it? Would he allow that? Or would he think I'm completely bizarre? Do I really care what he thinks? Because it was going to go in the bin, this canvas, because I didn't like it. And now I'm going to make something out of it. I'm going to try something. And our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good chemicals that help us focus. It also helps us to pray. It helps us to hope again. So I truly believe creativity is one of those most underused tools God has given us for healing and for reconnection. So one lady last night said God showed her a caterpillar and then a soaring bird. That's transformation. Okay. That's what happens when we stop striving and start creating with God. And Romans 12 verse 2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that renewal doesn't just happen through words. Okay, it happens when our hands and our heart work together in worship, when we slow down enough to just listen to God, and when we are just creating, not to produce something, but just creating to be with God. So if you're feeling distant from God or creatively blocked, start something small. Okay, take 10 minutes, just 10 minutes today to doodle, to paint, to write, but not to make something good, okay, but just let your soul breathe. And ask God, what are you showing me through this moment? Let go of that perfection. Creativity is like prayer in motion. So the goal isn't productivity, it's presence. And that's an interesting thought, because I was going to do this art show in the gallery, in our local gallery here, actually in the library, and I had this thing in my head that I have to produce all these pieces of work, and I didn't produce enough to cover the huge expanse of wall. And I felt, oh, I've produced enough to cover a corner of my kitchen, but not enough to cover the whole gallery. And so I pulled out and I said, I can't do it, because I just didn't want to just do just for the sake of doing. I wanted it to be enjoyable, and it wasn't becoming enjoyable. And also my heart is, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it well. In a way, I guess it's a perfectionism in me, but I want to tell the story of God, who he is. And so all my pieces are going to point to him. And I don't want to kind of just do for the sake of doing. So anyway, that's just a by the by story. But that's exactly why I created the Creative Sanctuary. It's a space for Christian women all over the world to slow down, to reconnect with God through art journaling and prayer, and to rediscover their confidence, because inside, and I want to show you inside, if you missed last night's session, the replay is going to disappear in less than 2 days. So the replay is going to disappear soon. So you can I'll put the link down in the description. You can go and watch the replay. But it was such a powerful session, and you can hear the stories and the insights and some really Holy Spirit moments. I've got some amazing questions I ask them and that they respond to. So I'd love you to watch it, but let me just share with you what's in the Creative Sanctuaries. I'm going to just share my screen, and I hope you will be able to see it. There it is. Okay, so when you come to the Creative Sanctuary and you become a member, I wanted to share with you what's inside. So this is just a welcome area, just a bit of kind of admin sort of things. And we've also got a community, so you can join the community. It's off Facebook, and you can even get it on your phone, which is amazing. There's a chat feature as well. So you can talk between members. So if you ever feel alone, there are other people that you can chat to. And here we've got what I call my Metamorphosis, a Faith and Creativity Success Path. And I want to just share with you what's inside, okay? Because when we, when I talked about those women who said things like, I want to top that busyness and faithfully take time and connect with God, to hear from him in my art. They talked about their block in loneliness following bereavement. They talked about drifting away and needing to recenter with God. This is what I have created inside the Creative Sanctuary. So you can see in here, the phase 1 is embracing brokenness. So quite a few of the members have done this journal here, which is a 30-day imperfection journal. I'm going to click on here and you can watch the video, but we're not going to watch the video now. And then you can download it. I'm going to download the PDF. You can download the document as well if you want to just write it in there. But you can see the beautiful covers. But each day, you just have to write a little bit about yourself. So say, for instance, it says here, what imperfections do you recognize in yourself? How have these imperfections affected your life? Write a prayer asking God's guidance and understanding these imperfections. Now, I don't want you to feel worse doing this, but what it is when we bring these fears and these doubts and these things that we talk about ourselves, we'll bring it in the light. We're not hiding them. God's going to use them. He's going to turn your imperfections into his glory, because none of us are perfect, but he's going to use them. And, I think a lot of my stories about brokenness, actually, and my paintings or my pictures that I draw have got these broken pieces, they're like mosaic pieces. And it just says that out of those brokenness, like the kintsugi pottery, instead of chucking that pottery away, we put it all together, we meld it with the gold, and it becomes something precious. That is what God is doing in us. He's making something precious. So as we go through all these, scriptures or these questions, write a letter to yourself about accepting your imperfections. And at the end of it, there's a creative assignment. And a lot of the ladies have done this. They've created a collage or a canvas, and they've torn up old journals and leftover scraps, and they've created a perfectly imperfect piece. So here's an example of one, but they've done their own version. And it's just so lovely to see. So that's the success path. And we've got so the success path, I was just going to say that obviously you've got the phase 2, which is like accepting your unique strengths, celebrating your uniqueness, finding your artistic voice. And then you've got the phase 3, which is creating a vision board. There are other things in here, actually. I haven't put all of them in because I don't want to kind of overwhelm people. I will slowly bring them out. But then we've got faith-based prayer, sort of digital products like prayer cards and grief affirmation cards and prayer journals, scrapbooking. We've got devotionals. And the lovely thing about this is that a few of the ladies have joined together to do a devotional together. So the Confidence in Christ devotional, Overcoming Insecurity. That's a really lovely devotional, but they all are, but that's the one they've chosen to do. We've got non-faith journals in here. Maybe something you can do if you've got a student in your home, or you've got you want to go through gratitude or anxiety. And then we've got, they're not necessarily Christian based, and then we've got the faith co-creates. So the live co-creates are amazing time, right? So basically, what we do is we meet up twice a month and we share what we're working on. I might be working on little postcards of watercolors, like these ones I've been doing, if you can see, of Matthew's Gospel. There's another one here. And we've got another one here of Matthew 13. So I might be doing that. Someone else might be working on a canvas, painting a lion or something, and someone else might be doing their scrapbooking, and they're all working on different things, but we're just spending time together, and it's just such a lovely time. I really enjoy those times myself. And then we've got guided meditations. Let me just share my screen again. Because the guided meditation. Now, last night we did this one, which was so lovely. See if you can listen to it. I'll share a little bit of it with you.
Before we begin creating together, I want to invite you into a time of prayerful visualization, a moment to center yourself. Quiet the noise and draw near to God, the ultimate creator. So
that's a really beautiful one. That's a video one. The others are audio, actually. So that's some guided meditations. What else have we got? Live co-create, guided meditation. This is the new workshops. So every month we do a new workshop, sometimes twice a month. So if I feel inspired, like I did the Clint inspired workshop, that was a lovely workshop. And when you go into there, you'll see the video in there. But we've got like 50 creative prompt cards. Look at these. Oh, they're too, I've got to download them because they're so big. They'll take a while to download, but basically you've got these beautiful prompt cards that will show you different ideas with a Bible reflection and something to create that's different. So and this today we have got a lady coming from Australia who is doing a peony. She's done peony workshops for us, and she's a botanical artist. So this is Marley Moir, and so she's done these watercolor pictures. All those are here where I can see. These are the prompt cards, and they are, how many have we got here? We've got 50 of them. Yeah, there's number 50. So they're really, really beautiful, aren't they? But obviously you don't need to print them all out, but they just give you inspiration. But anyway, I was talking about Marley and how she has done these lessons for us. And today she's coming on live in the Creative Sanctuary, and we are going to be talking to her. So finding out about her career and why she loves painting flowers, and a little bit about her membership, because she's got membership as well that people can join. So it's a new thing. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. So anyway, what do I need to say now? I just wanted to encourage you. I want to encourage you that you're not behind. You really are not behind. You're being invited into a new season of becoming. You are not useless. You're being repurposed by God. And creativity is one of the ways he brings you home to yourself and to him. So I'll leave you with this verse. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1 verse 6. So go and create with God today. And as I said, I've left the link in the description. Check it out. Love to see you inside Creative Sanctuary. Bye for now.